Hello friends, good week. How are you today? How was your weekend? Still running for some of us. Um, I hope you are getting ready for tomorrow's finals of Wimbledon. Roger against Andy Murray. It's going to be a wonderful match, that's for sure. My bet, of course, is my favorite, Federer, and I hope it will be his 17th Grand Slam title. He really, really, really deserves that. Alright, back to Forex, and what can we expect for the upcoming week, or actually for the upcoming period? Um, Summer. It seems, from my point of view, that a new down move is just in front of us. Maybe it might be just a trap, and we will see another final push up before a crash. I would say that this way: if a down move starts right now, then it's going to be a down move. If it's going to start after another last push up, my expectation would be much worse, and then I would expect a real crash. I think we have fabulous opportunities right now these days, and it's time. If I say that it's time to be out of the market the last months or something like that, and take very small risk trade and concentrate on intraday, then now, from my point of view, we are just about to begin another journey. Let's go over the chart and see the opportunities I am talking about, and I say just in advance, we are going to discuss also about several commodities. If you remember, then I talked about coffee and sugar a few weeks ago. Let me show you the chart. We talked about, once again, sugar and coffee, and here they are. That's the sugar, for example. We were looking on a daily chart, the daily extreme divergence it just created, right? Remember this one? And guess what? Here we go. The sugar did a beautiful job, and it still might go higher. I said, based on my expectation, it would come. This is resistance number 1, this is number 2. It should go and come here, right? It did the job, and this is resistance number 3, but it might even keep and try to push it to 83.50, which would be the 200 daily moving average, and also a wonderful, interesting meeting here of this trend line. You see that? Would be a nice attempt for the sugar to push it higher. Anyway, I am against of these sell opportunities, about sell opportunities there. We also talked about the coffee, and coffee did probably the best job, the weekly divergence, right? It was the weekly chart to show us a beautiful divergence. We discussed about this support, which should provide a wonderful, strong push up, and it's exactly what happened. We have had a wonderful opportunity, and this resistance was our target as for the beginning, and here we go, a wonderful move of more than 3,000 pips. And that's why I'm going to discuss today also about several opportunities for commodities, as I believe it's going to be wonderful time for the commodities. Somehow on the past, be on commodities on election years was a good choice, and it seems like it's going to be another good we're going to have another great opportunities to be in commodities in this election. Now let's start. Euro dollar will be the first one, as the pair finally break and closed below this last area, the 124. RSI is aiming down, MACD turned bearish again, stochastic turns bearish on weekly chart again, and it creates here some kind of equal tails pattern of the candle. From my point of view, it's a clear continuation down sign, especially when we take a look on the monthly, and based on monthly, the euro is expected to go as low as to 118 again at least, and as I said, it might even go to 110 again during the next months. Why it's about to happen? Well, actually the meeting in Europe did not happen yet. Nothing really happened, and now they're talking about to start the regulation only in 2013. Spain problem, Italian problem, keep holding the news, the topics, the subjects everywhere. And on Friday, the NFP, the non-farm payroll, was bad sign again for the markets. Until Bernanke will come with QE number 3, which from my point of view will happen, but as close as possible to the election day. I don't think it's going to happen right now on July, not in August, maybe September or October. That's much more logical from my point of view. That's why I do think that there is still wonderful big room for the bears. I'm bearish for the euro dollar and going lower for the daily chart. Finally, this flag that has been built here on the daily chart has been broken, and it's very, very bearish. Therefore, every single intraday correction up, take a look, this is the 4-hour chart, right? It seems like it's going to create an extreme right now here. Every single retrace of 60, I would say 50 pips and more, from my point of view, should be considered as a wonderful sell opportunity for the euro dollar for long run. How we can join them? We should look for the corrections and then go for intraday charts, like 1-hour chart, maybe even 15-minute chart, to find a very, very, very extreme prices, and then look for sell opportunities. From my point of view, as long as the euro dollar holds the weekly chart below this 124, even 124.50, that should be very, very, very bearish sign. 118 is my first target. 110 would be the final. Maybe even lower, but it's for long run. It's not so important to talk about that right now. Why? Once again, another fundamental reason for why I'm so bearish, especially for the euro dollar, is that the European leaders want the euro as weak as possible, and the interest rate to be as low as possible, just to try and this way, this is the only possibility right now, to provide the market some air to breathe and the investors to invest in the country. As for now, it's clear picture from my point of view. The European leaders are going to copy exactly what Bernanke did in 2008 and the next years in the US, and the European leaders are going to make the same. They are going to print money, and they are going to reduce the rates, the interest rates. That's why, from my point of view, they are saying one clear thing: we want weak euro. And of course, I don't think it's going to be one way, but I think their goal is clear. And now is a wonderful meeting of the charts and the fundamental. So I'm bearish for the euro dollar once again, and my expectations are 118, 110 as a final for the next long period. Let's go on. The next interesting thing is the Aussie dollar. From one side, very bearish sign, Amaro Buzo, and kind of inverted hammer on the weekly chart. Small, but still inverted pattern. RSI holds the 50 MACD exactly on the zero, but the only thing is the stochastic, which still holds bullish. If we go here on the daily chart, we can see the daily divergence. I would say this way, and we can see that the daily holds this 200 moving average, right? I would say this way, this thing. Once this channel will be broken, it's time to short the Aussie dollar. Why I said at the very beginning of this meeting, of this video, that it might be a trap? Because it might stop here, try another last push somewhere to around 104.50, 105, maybe even 106, and then bam, crash all the way. If this channel will be broken, that would be a signal for a sell. Of course, I do want the RSI to come bearish as well. So one of the next two will be the signs to join the Aussie dollar: the break of this channel or another push up and then a crash. If there will be a push up, then my expectations would be end of July, somewhere in August, as close as possible to the next interest rate decision in Australia, which I expect them to cut the rate, maybe for another 50 points, but that's a different story. That would be the last period for the Australian dollar rise. And I think that if this bearish down move comes, then it might go even and break below the last area, the 0.96, and take us all the way to 0.94 again, maybe even lower to 0.87. But first of all, let's start the down move, right? Let's break through the channel and then we can aim lower. 106 is the max point from my point of view for Aussie dollar to reach before the next crash, and I don't think there is any opportunity, any other possibility for the Aussie dollar that will crash. Let's move on, and the next pair would be also will involve these two, Euro Australian. Then we'll discuss about the Aussie against the franc, which will be just the opposite. Take a look on the monthly chart. This is the Euro Australian monthly chart. Take a look on these divergence. I think it is talking for itself. It's time to attack the Euro Aussie. Could it go lower? Of course it could. Could it take the 115 even? Of course. 110? Yes. It could keep pushing all the way here. But this is the best situation you could wish for. The only problem is the swap. We still pay a good swap, a good commissions when we buy it. But still, from my point of view, these opportunities are the best. Could it push lower? Yes. Should we start the attack? Yes. Take a look on the daily chart. Right? We are extreme already. We have more than 20 candles right already. On the Bollinger Bands, one way down, our RSI is coming to extreme. From my point of view, the first step would be the retest of this area. Breaking above that, and we will aim all the way up again to the upper side of the Bollinger Band. Could it play around? Yes, I expect it maybe even to play around, to make this up move, then a down move again, to build a bullish divergence also on a daily chart, right? Maybe on another lows, and then make a strong long-term turn around. Friends, get ready, and from my point of view, on the next period, and when I say period, I don't mean 1 day or 1 week, I mean several months. I think that the game is about to change. We are about to see a turnaround. Yes, it could go deeper, but the deeper it goes, the more buy opportunities it is from my point of view. I do not think I do think that it is about to change, and to change seriously for a very long run. And of course, just exactly the opposite for a bearish expectation about the Aussie franc. Same story from my point of view. We also have here more than 20 candles right. RSI extreme, no bearish divergence yet on the MACD, but we're very extreme there. On the daily chart we have 1, 2, maybe long 3, we expect a 4 now, maybe then a 5, and then a crash. If it keeps pushing, then 101 maybe a little bit lower would be the next area to look for. Then the 103. From my point of view, Aussie franc is also coming to the end. Should start the crash soon. That's my expectation there. A few words about the pairs we are talking for 2 weeks right now. Pound New Zealandian, this is the second attempt here, second bullish pattern. Now it's engulfing, wonderful pattern. Almost an extreme bullish divergence on the MACD. Weekly chart also provides us some kind of a support already, right? It's trend line support somewhere here around. The pair could push lower, it could take us maybe even to 191, but once again we are coming to very extreme area right now. We have more than 20 candles right, therefore I do expect it to go high again. Up again. So I'm bullish for pound New Zealandian. I would say that 196.60 would be the target number one, then 198, and the final would be around the 2, maybe even higher for the pound New Zealandian. That's my expectation here. Euro pound, another interesting pair. It's bearish, I am bearish, and I think the times to start buying the euro pound will come soon. Take a look for these areas, friends. The somewhere around 0.78, maybe even lower, 0.77 or 0.76. It's these are the last areas. The weekly chart on extremely wonderful continuing divergence. RSI might go and reach the extreme there on a weekly chart. I think we are coming to a very end for the down move of the euro pound. These are the areas to get ready for a stronger retrace. Until then, I am bearish. Every intraday retrace, look for sell opportunities. Right? Look for sell opportunities. That's my another expectation there. A few words about the gold. I think and I hope actually that the gold is about to break down this channel it created. I do want it to place itself finally below the 1550. If it does, then the gold should take us all the way to 14, maybe here first of all 1485, then maybe even 1420, and somewhere I would say my analysis take me somewhere to August. I can expect it to happen and to duplicate it this way, which means if it does the break, that's the thing I expect. Somewhere in the middle of August, maybe the end of August, maybe even earlier, I think that gold will start wonderful up move. I do want it to push down. I do want it to go and reach the weekly strong support, just to provide an amazing buy opportunities. Of course, same with the silver. I do want it to go to 25 again, maybe even lower, just to provide an amazing buy opportunities, which will come definitely soon if these two commodities fulfill the down move. Once again, break below 1550 for the gold, and the next target from my point of view would be 1485, then maybe 1420, maybe even lower, and then all the way up again. And now a few words about the indices before going for commodities. Just to summarize it simply, I'm bearish, and that's the daily chart, exactly as Aussie dollar from my point of view. Breaking below this channel and RSI to place itself below 50 again, and we are going down. I am bearish. I do not think that the market has any reason to go up, and that's why my call is bullish. In case it pushes higher, then we will follow the weekly bullish potential double top, and then with divergence, and then a crash. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to stop and start the down move. My expectations for the S&P 1215 at least. For the Nasdaq, I would say 300. That's the level at least, maybe even all the way to 2050. For the Dow, my expectations are 11,800 again, maybe even lower, around 11,400. I'm very bearish. About the oil, once again, in the club we have been a wonderful buy. As we discussed, this the upper Bollinger Band is about to reach. The question is with the oil, is that the end? Because we have a bullish convergence here. You see that? On the oil, on the daily charts, which means we can go for the 4-hour charts, wait for the divergence, and if divergence appears, we can buy. But I would not be surprised if the oil will also try from here to push lower. Anyway, as for now, stay neutral. In case it pushes lower and breaks through the previous low, below 80 again, I could become bearish again to 75, maybe 70 even. As for now, I am neutral. Now for the interesting things, and let's begin. Soybeans. Weekly chart looks extremely bullish, right? And yes, it can push. It can push higher. It can break through, right? It can break through, go to 1700, even more, right? This is the soybean future July, right? We can take a look here also. We can take a look and find that if it keeps pushing, then weekly chart might become extreme, right? But pay attention for the daily chart. That's what I want to talk about. Daily chart has had 1, 2, 3 now. It should go and make 4 and then 5 and a crash. I think that for long run we are about to see sell period, or how it calls a sell-off for the soybeans. I think it's going to last for several weeks, maybe a few months, just before the elections. I do believe that this gap that was closed here, was open here, sorry, around 1500 will be closed. I am very bearish for soybean. And yes, it can push a little bit higher. Now we have extreme divergence here. You see that? We have extreme divergence, which means soybeans is coming to its end. Could it push higher? Definitely. I would start sell here with bearish candles. Every bearish candles on a new high is a sell opportunity from my point of view. I'm very bearish for soybeans. This is one. I promised you a few. Take a look on wheat. Another extreme situation. See that? Another extreme divergence, right? Take a look on the weekly chart. Bollinger Band's almost duplication. Could it push higher to the previous resistance around 880? Definitely. But based on daily chart, first of all, we're going to see retraces. Probably to close this gap, maybe even to close the previous gap before the continuation. And from my point of view, it's time to start sells. It's time to start sells. I become very bearish. The first target from my point of view, of course, will be the daily 20 MA. Maybe even I would say the support here, right? This area, which not been tested here. It should close the gap, come to this, around this area. It's around 775, 780, maybe even a few pips higher. Then, if it pushes higher, start looking for the daily divergences and sell. If it's investor style, you can go and start these sells. From my point of view, wheat about to crash. Before the crash, it could push higher, all the way to 880. It's welcome. If it does, I will look for the bearish candles on each high and go for sells. From my point of view, it's very, very, very extreme. Another interesting thing would be the cotton, which from my point of view, this weekly chart weekly divergence, right, and monthly, as you can see, monster continuing divergence start to build itself here. Is a buy opportunity, and I just jumped in on Friday, and I'm going to hold it. Every down move to maybe 60, maybe even 50 would be just another buy opportunity from my point of view. As I said, there are many commodities opportunities coming out, and we did wonderful with coffee and sugar and oil. Now it's time to concentrate on gold, silver, cotton, the soybeans and the wheat. From my point of view, will not regret. These are the real opportunities. That's all for now, friends. This all. We have many things happen. I know this weekly review has been a little bit longer than usual, but that's only because the opportunities we were looking for are there. If the last period, last month, I was talking about staying away from several things, now it's time to get back in the market. And despite the fact that we are coming into the summer, on the past, the history somehow proved that election summers are interesting periods. I hope it's true. It's clear that the volumes will be lower, but still seems that the opportunities are here, and they are here to stay, and the moves are here to happen. Thank you very much for your time watching this video. I wish you a wonderful week and great finals tomorrow. Roger Federer, we love you, man, and good luck. That's my favorite player, so excuse me if you are not a tennis fan and I'm talking about that. Have a wonderful week, friends. Yours, Vladimir.